Good afternoon, students. My name is Professor Jacquie Baly, and it is a pleasure to have you for the next 8 weeks. We're going to be looking into Texas government. So, what that means is we will explore the ins and outs of Texas politics and Texas government, including Governor Abbott's office, which is the executive, the legislature, which consists of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and also our judiciary. From our local districts to all the way up to our Supreme Court and Appellate Court and Appeals Court. And this is a good time to be looking at all of these because we're in the middle of political season. Just last night was election in Texas. Some of the big races were Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee on the Democrat side. She won her reelection. And also, President Trump won his bid on the Republican side, and President Biden won his bid on the Democrat side. We had something called primaries, and we'll be getting into what primaries are, but that was what we had yesterday here in Houston. So I just wanted to say welcome, and I'm so happy to be your professor for the next couple of months. And let's dive right into chapter one. So in chapter one, we talk about the levels of government. So we have dual sovereigns, which controls areas of policy. And with each state, there are multiple subunits of government, local units. And these local units include county level entities and municipal entities. So the local government will employ far more people than both the state and the federal governments. Both governmental services are provided by local employees, including primary and secondary education, law enforcement, our fire and emergency and health services, our basic utility services, road construction, and economic development. The federal government is responsible for our major national initiatives, such as national defense, relations with foreign nations, and many other regulations. And the federal government will, of course, have the power to tax and to spend based on those activities. Since the 1930s, the federal courts have interpreted the power to regulate commerce broadly. So that can encompass a lot of different areas. Um, Overall, in the last century, the federal government has become increasingly dominant in its relationship with the states. Of course, the 50 governments, 50 states, all have basic structure of federal government, executive branch, and legislative and judicial branch. So they have a tripartite structure. Again, that's executive, legislature, judicial, and that's what we see here in Texas. Governor Abbott is executive, as I mentioned. Legislative are our House of Representatives and Senators, and our judicial are our judges. So in Texas, we're considered to be a conservative state, especially in comparison to California. That's one of the liberal states. In Texas, we believe in low taxes, low government, not broad service, low taxation, states' rights, not broad governmental service. We collect around $4,000 per person in state and local taxes, as opposed to California, which collects 6,000 per person in state and local taxes. California is considered a liberal state, and they believe in high taxation and to deliver high levels of governmental services across the board. Dillon's rule that holds the local governments, their authority governed from the state. So in other words, local governments like City of Houston receives all of its authority from the state of Texas. Dillon's rule talks about that. I think the most recent example of that was the COVID-19 pandemic, where state leaders could actually overrule a lot of the decisions made by mayors and local elected officials. So, most of our elected officials or elected entities are run by elected officials. City of Houston, again, is a great example. We have a mayor, which is a full-time position, as opposed to City of Sugar Land, which the mayor there has a part-time position, and they have a city manager who does the functions of the everyday functions of running the city. So the city of Sugar Land has a strong city management form of government, and the city of Houston has a strong mayoral form of government. Council mayor system. Again, both the mayor and members of the city council are elected, and the mayor can be either strong or weak. In Houston, we have a strong mayor system. Council manager structure. The council is elected and is responsible for hiring the city manager. The city manager is responsible for carrying out all the policies that the council wants. Examples of a council manager structure are the cities of Sugar Land and Pearland. The council mayor system is a bit more popular than the council manager form. So our local cities like Sugar Land, Pearland, Dickinson, Houston are responsible for delivering water service, police and fire, road maintenance. Those are some of the services that municipalities, cities are responsible for. So, as I mentioned, you will be hearing from me via Zoom, via video, throughout the next 2 months. We will break down each chapter like I just did, and you will have assignments assigned to you through Top Hat. Please remember to check your announcement section in Canvas. That's usually where I will do a lot of your announcements. So please make sure to check there at least a minimum of twice per week. A little bit about me. I've been a professor in the U of H system for close to 17 years, most of them at the downtown campus. I am a graduate of University of Houston Central. I'm currently working on my doctorate at USC. I have a small boutique firm in public affairs and media relations. I'm an appointee of Governor Abbott's and of Harris County commissioners, and I serve on many boards, but the most prominent probably right now is American Cancer Society, and I do a lot of fundraising for that nonprofit. I've placed your syllabus in Canvas. The email that I placed on your syllabus is the best way to reach me. I am very and will be highly accessible, so please do not hesitate to reach out to me at any time. So this is our first video, giving you just a brief introduction to Chapter 1. The next time you hear from me, I will finish Chapter 1 for you, and we'll move into another portion of the semester. See you soon. Thank you.